Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and this is Joe, and we are going to talk about Raw last night.
That's right.
Um,
2 weeks of Mania, the countdown's on.
yeah, Raw to me, I was doing quite a bit of stuff while it was going on. I thought it was boring. Ending was, I guess, surprising because obviously no one really expected Sting to be out. But it's funny because and Joe, I want to get your opinions on this before we actually really get into like this show. I posted this in the group last night, and I asked that I thought it was funny because the main event for WrestleMania is supposed to be obviously Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, but it seems like they're focusing way more on the Randy and Seth thing. And I'm obviously like the whole authority thing is still like the main focus and everything. And I mean they focused a little bit with Triple H and Sting last night too, but I noticed that the main focus, especially last night, was Randy and Seth, and I don't know if it was just because, they have to now build up the match for 2 weeks, but I feel like Seth and Randy have been the center of attention for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. So I don't know if it's just because obviously everyone's expecting this match to be the match of the night,
Yeah.
or at least I think it's definitely going to be one of them. Or it's just because it's based on authority and they can kill two birds with one stone with like the Sting thing,
Yeah.
Triple H thing. But I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Like, I mean, and obviously Brock Lesnar's schedule is kind of, too. But Roman Reigns, we're only seeing him like maybe once a night with Paul Heyman having a little promo, and that's about it. They're not really
Yeah,
building it up too much.
it does feel like I actually thought the same thing. Like, wow, they're giving a lot of time to Randy and Seth tonight. And the whole swerve with
Mm-hmm.
looking like he was going to turn on Seth, and then it was just a swerve to set up Randy at the end. I mean, obviously a lot of that was put into that to hype that main event, I feel, with Sting's appearance. And I wouldn't be shocked if Sting and H main event. I'm starting to think more and more that's going to happen just because it's the dream match. It's WCW versus WWE. It's, and Sting got a great reaction last night. So I think based on that, I thought that was one of the better reactions Sting has gotten probably since Survivor Series. So, they were chanting his name. He did the Stinger splash. He was vintage Sting. He looked in great shape. Looked like he actually added a tattoo on his arm. But he's in great shape for a 56-year-old. So I feel like Sting and H probably would be the way to go, just because there's so much. I was talking to Immortal Mike Sorkin, my co-host, about this with Roman and other issues, and he said if Roman and Brock's the main event, that he thinks people might walk out. Like in WrestleMania 25, the main event was Triple H and Randy Orton in a very infamous match, which had a great build where Orton, handcuffed Stephanie and kissed her, and Triple H broke into Orton's house and all this stuff. But it ended up being a regular match. They booked it to where it wasn't a hardcore match or anything. And it kind of, and plus, like, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker 1 was on that card, and that stole the show, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
People were kind of walking out at that point. So I wonder if that could happen. I feel like Brock's such a spectacle now that they'll at least, like, be into him. And even, like, the intrigue of, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is he going to go to UFC? Is he going to try to unify both belts? Which, I did the math in my head. He'd have to hold the WWE title for probably another year for that to happen. Because on average, he'd probably fight once every 4 to once every 6 months in the UFC. He's not going to get a title shot right away. He's probably going to fight Frank Mir first if he goes to the UFC, which would be a trilogy. They fought 2 times already. And I can see him getting a title shot at Cain Velasquez after that. But, again, he'd have to hold the title for another year. And let's use logic here. As much as none of us are big Roman fans, I'm probably the bigger Roman supporter of anybody, like who's the main people that we do the videos with. At this point, whether it's Roman, whether it's Seth, I think it's time to get that belt on a full-timer again.
Yeah.
Today. So I think that's where my mind's at. But, yeah, like, I wouldn't be shocked if H... See, with Seth and Randy, I don't think they're going to main event it because I think Seth is going to try to cash in.
I think they're going to maybe not. I don't even think they're going to co-main event it. I think it's going to be somewhere kind of like in the middle. Like maybe third to last match, maybe.
Yeah, maybe third to last or fourth to last. You still got Bray Undertaker, so you got some other stuff. So I feel like that may even open WrestleMania, Seth and Randy. Especially, it'll give Seth time to recover if he does cash in. And I heard there was a leaked script. You know, there's been leaked scripts going around the past year. There was a leaked script that went out for the main event of WrestleMania, and it had Seth cashing in and Vince running in and Triple H running in. It turned into a triple threat match.
Supposedly it was a joke. Supposedly it was just, I don't think they're actually really going to go with that. Because with that, they're going to have to do a double turn. But I do like it because obviously they said at the end, I guess the Authority was supposed to be raising Roman's hand and Seth losing the briefcase. Now with that, I do technically like that because obviously with still Seth losing the briefcase, him and Roman are obviously going to feud for a few months. And then with the Authority turning on Seth and everything, he can definitely still be one of the top baby faces and win it back just, you know.
And it was interesting. They almost teased Seth being babyface yesterday.
Yeah, they did, and I liked it. I liked it.
It was in Iowa, his home state. So what better state to test it in than his home state? So I thought it was very interesting how they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he stood up for Triple H, and he kind of got, you know, talked back to him and everything, you know, so I liked it. It was nice. And obviously it was just for a joke. It was for show.
That's you're sitting there playing hide and seek with Sting. Like, I love that. That was one of his better lines he said.
Yeah. He's definitely getting better. You can definitely tell since he's turned heel, and just the mic work is just amazing.
It's getting better.
So that's pretty much how it happened. Started off the show, the Authority pretty much came out, and Seth was talking about how, you know, he got betrayed by Randy and everything like that because he's a somebody and everything. He was calling all the fans nobodies. Obviously, he was trying to use the fan and try to, you know, get dirt on the fans because obviously, like you said, he was in home state, so he obviously didn't want them cheering for him, so he was trying to act more heelish towards them. And he pretty much just, you know, said that he's going to accept Randy's challenge, but he wants to face him later on tonight. And Randy obviously accepted, but I mean, this is obviously, it's a good way. Now, for Seth to turn babyface at WrestleMania, I think that I feel like he would have to lose. I feel like Randy would pick up the win, and it would be over with, you know, and maybe Seth could just be like, oh, you know, whatever. And then when he could cash in, the Authority can use that and say, oh, you couldn't beat Randy Orton, so how can we actually think that you're going to be our future, you know? And maybe that's why they can help Roman out. Roman turns heel, and Seth turns face. That way I would like it. And there also was speculation that the Shield was going to get back together, like Brock was going to win and retain.
Who was that? Who proposed that? Who proposed that months ago that the Shield might reunite? Months ago.
They said that Brock was supposed to retain, and then Seth was going to try and cash in, and Roman and Dean were going to try and help him and act like, you know, they were going to stop him and help him. And then obviously with Seth winning, and then they can say, oh, this is, you know, you said I was plan B, well, this is our plan C, you know, something like that, you know. I like that. I do like that.
I'm not against the Shield reuniting. Like I said, I proposed the idea, so maybe they're watching.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, it could kill off the Authority hopefully eventually too. Maybe this can be their last time, you know.
I mean, you go back to the promo Randy cut last week where he really just buried the Authority and really said some true stuff that I think we've all been thinking about Big Show and Kane and, you know, everybody. So I think it's time that I think Mercury and Noble need to go back to being agents. You know, I think that's ran its course, and I think Big Show and Kane just need to go away. I've been on that kick forever now, but yeah, it's time for the Authority to just die a slow death.
I definitely agree. AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella, and obviously, with Nikki winning, they're making her look obviously strong right now, which is smart. You know, you don't want her losing a whole bunch, you know, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter anyways because the Divas title isn't even on the line at WrestleMania. It's a tag team match like usual. I don't get what's up with that too. The Divas tag team matches at WrestleMania.
the whole AJ Paige, they're friends, they're frenemies, they're enemies, now they're friends
Someone's
again.
gonna turn on someone. Either Paige is gonna turn heel or AJ's gonna turn heel, and I think it's more sense for AJ to turn heel because Paige is on Total Divas and AJ hasn't been heel in a while, so.
I think AJ could rejuvenate her career if she turned heel. I think turning babyface killed her off because her character was really, when she built her character with the whole storyline of the general manager and dating Bryan and Kane
The
and CM.
craziness, yeah. She definitely was more, and that's why it was so funny. They still consider her a face character, but she was a heel. I mean,
Yeah.
and she still is a heel when she's face. She acts like a heel.
Yeah, when she turned on Emma a few months ago, that really pissed me off. She does heelish things. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's just it doesn't even make sense.
I love AJ Lee. Don't get me wrong. Been a big fan since he was in NXT, but like it is time for her to turn heel again. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Or leave the company and go to UFC with them.
Yeah, if she's gonna stay for a while, if she's gonna stay for another year or so, turn heel. If she's not, then maybe have her leave or something. Like maybe have her and Paige have one last match, Paige win, and then she.
The Bellas are leaving.
Yeah, they're leaving. So I think after WrestleMania is probably when Nikki is going to. Whether they make the title at Raw the next night, because they'll usually do that. They'll do a title change. I've noticed that after WrestleMania.
Sarah can finally debut and take the title from her, and AJ can get pissed. Could be like, a rookie beat me last year. A rookie came in and beat Nikki this year. I'm the rightful champion. Maybe her and Charlotte can have a feud.
Yeah,
which I think would be
definitely.
I mean, Charlotte's definitely ready to get called up. She has no more business.
Especially with Sasha Banks and everything,
Match. There's no other feuds there. There's plenty of women there. By the way, Carmella, the manager of Enzo and Big Cass, former Patriots cheerleader. Just found that out this week.
Interesting.
Yes.
Most of them are like cheerleaders or like models or something like that. They've like kind of had like some kind of like background to that. Most of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Carmella. I saw her match with Alexa Bliss last week in NXT. I think she's a decent worker. I think she's everything that Summer Rae could be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Miz versus Ryback. Now Miz said that obviously he was going to fire Damien Mizdow if he didn't win the Battle Royal, and that's what's so funny. That's why I think that even if Damien Mizdow doesn't win the whole thing, he's definitely going to throw Miz over the top rope.
Yeah.
I do think he might win it, but with Sheamus returning maybe, and then with Mark Henry returning now too. There's some different people that I feel like it would be better if Sheamus won, to tell you the truth, than Mark Henry, but
yeah, if it's
Damien Mizdow to win though. I'm not even a fan of him, and I think he deserves it.
Ryback or Axel.
Yeah, Ryback would be good too. Yeah, Axel would be awesome, definitely.
I mean, something turn a negative into a positive. I actually give a lot of credit to Curtis Axel, and I know he had his segment later on in the show, and he kind of jobbed in that little Battle Royal thing to Mark Henry. But I think his character now, finally, he's not Mr. Perfect's son anymore. He's got his own character. For years, even when he was McGillicuddy in the Nexus, he was pretty much just Mr. Perfect's son. Mm-hmm. And, now finally he has something more to his character, which I feel like the successful second and third generationers, like Randy Orton, like The Rock, even like Roman Reigns in a way, they have their own personality. They don't just rely on being so-and-so's son, so-and-so's grandson. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even Roman, just recently he started speaking about his Samoan heritage. He never did in The Shield. In fact, he had many feuds with the Usos, and they triple powerbombed Rock at one point,
mm-hmm.
and better than not.
And now he's it, and like, oh, don't touch my family. I know.
But Rock's putting him over, but you've triple powerbombed Rock before he fought CM Punk, and friggin' you're some of the Shield's best work were against the Usos, and now you can't touch the Usos. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. This is interesting. With the John Cena and Rusev contract signing, obviously Lana is out shooting a movie with Edge, I think. I think that's what they said.
Absolutely.
So they're hoping that she's back at least on WrestleMania, obviously, for the match, but I think that's kind of almost why they, got in a fight last Monday, backstage, to kind of write her off a little bit, to act like they're having a little bit of problems.
Maybe they legit broke up?
Yeah, they're actually dating in real life. I can't believe that. They supposedly bought a house or something. I thought that was crazy. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if they're just trying to like book him now as so he can kind of be more alone now, and obviously everyone was talking about the lawyer or whatever, talking about where they got him and his accent was so bad. I'm just like, they probably found someone at the last second that agreed to it, and that's the best they could do.
I mean, they always have these behind-the-scenes people play characters like Dr. Shelby, or even the one that was the doctor for Ambrose a few months ago. Yeah, they come up with shit like that. So obviously he was some backstage guy looking like Egon from the Ghostbusters. And I don't know, the Russian accent was horrifically bad. Lana's fake Russian accent's a lot better than his. So I don't know. I mean, I like Rusev being on his own because I think he's grown to the point where he doesn't need Lana to get over, which is good. I know all the males out there love looking at Lana. Shout out to CJ Price, who's a guy I wrestle with, probably the biggest Lana fan I know. But it is what it is. I mean, all things come to an end, so I'm not shocked.
Our screen messed up for a minute there. But yeah, I agree. I hope she is back. I do think that the funny thing is me and my brother kind of agreed that he's not, it's not the worst thing for him to be alone. It's just, I think he can do it and everything, but I don't know. I do think Lana gave him that extra bit that he needs. And I do want her back. I hope they don't just kill her off with him, like make it a storyline and act like, oh, they got in a huge fight and everything. Hopefully she comes back and they act like nothing's wrong, but... And we lost Joe. But, yeah. Hopefully. I mean... I don't know. I think this was bad timing for the whole movie thing. I mean, I know they can't really help it. It's just, they asked her to be in a movie, and obviously, it's a good opportunity and everything. I just think right before WrestleMania. I mean, it wouldn't matter for any other but pay-per-view, but he's supposed to be losing, his undefeated streak. So I feel like he really needs her. Like, this is the time that he needs her the most. So it's unfortunate.
What you're saying makes logical sense. I have one comparison to make, and this is what I hope doesn't happen to Rusev, because I'm starting to really get into his character, and he's really been one of the best things they've done in the past year, building him up. When you consider he debuted the day after Mania, and he's really built up into working Cena at WrestleMania this year. That's a good ascension, pardon the pun. But I got three words for you, actually. Alberto Del Rio. We saw, little by little, when Del Rio started with the company, he was getting over with the cars and with Ricardo. Little by little, it took away the cars, it took away Ricardo. And then, I mean, no disrespect to Alberto El Patron now, but, he's still a great wrestler. I'm glad he's in the indies and can have these great matches with, these dream matches with people in the indies. I actually was listening to an interview with Justin Gabriel last night. He was on Talk is Jericho. Quite interesting interview. But I digress. We saw it really affect Alberto Del Rio negatively, and hopefully Rusev can make it work. I think he can. I hope they don't stick Poindexter with him, because that I didn't really like that. But yeah. I'm okay with him being on his own, as long as he can grow and make it work, and not just like keep doing the same shit like Alberto did, just minus all the extra shit with Ricardo and everything.
Yeah. New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, and obviously, I think it's Jimmy Uso. I think that is a shoulder injury. I think it's Jimmy Uso. I'm not sure. It's Jimmy or Jay. One of them got shoulder injuries, so obviously they're making it into a triple threat tag team thing instead of a fatal four-way triple.
That's what WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania, it's probably going to be the pre-show. That's the rumor. It's supposed to be the pre-show.
Well, I've heard that match is pre-show too. No, but what you're saying is it's got to be triple threat, matadors.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's the rumor. And yeah, because the Usos, I don't know how long Jimmy or Jay, whoever it was, I think it's Jimmy. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy.
I'm gonna have the tag team in years the Usos not be on WrestleMania or even the pre-show. That makes no sense.
Yeah, he got injured on SmackDown, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think Kofi or something landed weird on him. It looks like it. It looked like he landed weird on his shoulder or something like that.
It's Blue Day versus Matadors versus Skins. And I got a weird feeling Blue Day's going to win. I don't know why. I just do.
They need to turn him heel. They messed the whole thing up with that. They should have turned him heel, and they didn't. And now it's a mess. It's a hot mess.
Raw promos. Do you watch the After Raw promos that they show on the WWE's YouTube?
Sometimes. Depends on
I checked. I watched them last night when I got home from work, and they had Blue Day on, and they actually cut an interesting promo about the time for fun is over, and they weren't as hokey. Maybe it could lead into the way they were kind of booking it. Although they're booking
I wouldn't mind them being tag team champions if they did turn heel. I mean, it could work for them, and if they're actually going to take them seriously. Oh, another rumor, the Ascension. They don't know what to do with them.
Well, I thought so because they had them lose randomly to the primetime players. We haven't seen the primetime players or Ascension since then. They'll probably just be.
Well, they were in the little battle royal they had last night.
Primetime players were.
Mhm.
But no Ascension.
Yeah, no Ascension. Yeah, that's the rumors. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't have anything for them, and they're going to be off TV for at least a few weeks.
Oh. Do they de-spin?
Oh,
I wonder if they put them back in NXT.
Down the drain.
I mean, I wonder if they put them back in NXT. But even that wouldn't make sense.
I don't think they did. I think they're just trying to repackage them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe try to build the tag team division without them for right now, and then maybe have them come in and act real strong, and maybe, I don't know. I think they're trying to fix something. And obviously with Jimmy Jacobs being on WWE Creative Team. Did you hear about that?
He's officially there. I know there was that picture with him and
yeah, Seth. I'm so happy. I'm like, hell yes.
So
finally, someone who knows what they're doing.
He's officially gone from Ring of Honor then, obviously.
Yeah, he had his last match. Yeah, he's on the creative team now. He got a contract and everything, so it's awesome.
Good for Jimmy Jacobs. The guy had been in business a long time.
I'm so excited. I love him.
Also, a great friend, probably one of the best friends to one Kevin Owens. Just saying.
Yep.
Can't hurt Kevin Owens. Can't hurt him at all.
But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on for WrestleMania for the tag team thing. Nothing special there.
I know we'll probably do our prediction video next week, but I'm looking on Blue Day. Just the feeling I have.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know. I'm not even excited for that match.
I'm not really excited for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know. That's the truth. There's only a few matches that I feel like are going to be good. I'm excited for Bray and Undertaker, and I'm excited for Seth and Randy just because I know Seth and Randy can always put on great matches, and they're gonna kill it. They're gonna make it look so amazing.
The ladder match is almost like so many guys in there that deserve so much more.
Yeah, and Dean's supposedly turning heel, too. He's going to turn on Daniel Bryan. That's a rumor. Oh.
He has to. He absolutely has to. He hasn't won a match since he left the Shield.
But Daniel Bryan's supposedly winning it, so. And so sorry if I spoiled that for anybody, but that's, I mean, I really don't think that's really a spoiler because people can figure that Daniel Bryan's probably going to win.
I figured it was down to him and Ziggler. That's what I thought. And Ziggler's had the belt a couple times lately, so he doesn't gain much from winning it back. Bryan, the Intercontinental title is the only title Bryan has never had. He has been a tag team champion, a Money in the Bank. He has been U.S. He has been World. He has been WWE. He's been undisputed WWE and World. So the only title he's never had is the IT, unless we count the Royal Rumble, which is not his match, clearly.
Yeah.
So he would become they used to call it a Triple Crown champion. I forgot the term now, but I know The Miz has won every title as well. There's not many people left on the roster who have won every title. Even Randy Orton hasn't. He's not won the U.S., so
Yeah.
that would put Brian in an exclusive club to have won every title this company has to offer. And look, if you're going to try to hype the IC title, who better than Daniel Bryan? And if you're going to hype the U.S. title, who better than John Cena? Your two top baby faces, arguably. So,
definitely. And that's why I think they're going to do it, too, to obviously build it more. And obviously with, you got your newer guys, kind of Roman and Brock and Seth kind of fighting over the top right now. And then, so I love it. I think it's great. And then Dean's obviously going to be feuding with Bryan. That's also great.
That's fine with me. I mean, at least we'll get great matches out of it.
Yeah. So it seems like they're doing something right there.
The funny thing is, I think if they turn Dean heel, he's just going to get cheered more. Kind of like if they turn Ziggler heel.
Well, I think the whole plan was that's why they're probably having Bryan be his first feud, because Bryan is, so over with the fans. So, and obviously they can't turn him heel. So, Big Show versus Eric Rowan. There's nothing really. I mean, this didn't even start, so it was just, yeah. I mean, I really don't even. I just feel so bad for Eric Rowan. That's all I really got to say. I feel like he really tried, and I feel like he could have been a good singles competitor, and they just killed him.
They should have never broke up the Wyatt family. At least with the Shield, they had the intention to make everybody their own single stars. The Wyatt family should have never broken up. And even with this match with Undertaker, you could have had Luke and Eric there. It would have made Undertaker more of an underdog. It would have been reminiscent of Undertaker and Edge, when Edge had Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder and Chavo Guerrero and La Familia there for Undertaker to kind of bump and feed with to get to Edge. And they could have done something similar with Taker and Bray. I just don't think breaking up the Wyatt family was... They did a lot of stupid things in 2014. Breaking up the Wyatts, I think, will stay the test of time as one of the stupidest decisions in recent company history.
Yeah, they did it way too early. And Bray, it's working out great for Bray. Luke Harper, that's kind of a mess too. And then Eric Rowan, obviously, they destroyed him. But yeah, and then they have this little.
Congratulations to the living legend Larry Zbyszko for getting in the Hall of Fame. I know you probably don't know much about him. Was AWA champion, was a commentator in WCW, also feuded with Scott Hall in WCW, was also a big part of TNA for a while, and was actually the on-camera GM for TNA before Dusty Rhodes took over in 2004 as the on-camera GM. So he's contributed a lot to the wrestling business. He was a great heel in his day, and I think it's a good addition to this year's Hall of Fame. Hopefully we get Kevin Nash next week.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be the last one.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then they had the little battle royal thing. It was like only 10 people. It was just Mark Henry pretty much returning. He actually returned on SmackDown, but
yeah, he could like cut a heel from him, Roman speared him and knocked him out. And he kind of turned babyface. What a shock! Mark Henry doesn't know what he is. And he kind of turned babyface.
That's him and Big Show. Him and Big Show are just... And Kane, too. You can put Kane in that category. All three of them. Just face. And they even said, too, Big Show's supposed to be turning face soon. So I really wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't. Especially if the Authority breaks up.
Lay down. Turn his face against the pillow and go lay down. Go home. Like you got a nice hot wife at home. Go hang out with her. You got millions of dollars in your fucking 2+ decades. Go to a movie. Do something. Just go away.
Yeah, but yeah, I like I said, I think Damian Mizdow would really, even though I'm not a fan of him. Yes, I know a lot of people can't stand me for that, saying that, but yeah, I think he deserves it the most, and I want him to win. To tell you the truth, the most. I think he deserves it the most.
It's a shame they're not doing the one-on-one match because it really is one of the better storylines. I'm still
I think
pissed.
they're going to have their big match at SummerSlam.
I'm still pissed. Are they going to milk it till SummerSlam, you think?
I think so. I think they're probably going to drag it out. Maybe have, I don't know, some kind of cheap thing where it's like maybe Miz now apologizes or something. Who knows? I guess it depends on how it all goes down. But I see it happening at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, if they can play it out another 4 months, more power to them. I don't know if they can. It's a shame because that really is one of the better. That and Goldust and Stardust were like the two storylines I was into, and they just.
And you want to know the rumors about that? Why they stopped that?
Sure.
A lot of the WWE writers were not into it. So.
Why? Oh, who cares what the writers think?
I don't know if it was like Vince or Triple H who wanted it, and then the WWE writers were like, nah.
I noticed Goldust doesn't even have anything. Like, this is, to me, is more disrespectful to Goldust than Cody. Because at least Cody's still in a big match, Intercontinental title match, and the Stardust character will continue, obviously. But, I mean, poor Goldust. He was going to have this retirement match, supposedly, against his little brother. The match we really wanted to see at WrestleMania for a couple of years now. And they're just going to throw it away for everything Goldust has done for this company. I was going to mention in the WrestleMania we do on Sunday, the WrestleMania in Anaheim where they had the Iron Man match. I thought Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. I thought the highlight of that show was Goldust versus Rowdy Piper in that little brawl thing they did. Goldust has done so much for this company, and he's come back. He's gone away, made people miss him. Come back with the DDP yoga, better than ever. Almost 50 years old, can still go. And it's like, they're giving R-Truth more respect than him. Not that I hate that. I'm glad R-Truth's getting a nice little match before he retires. But poor Goldie. Like, seriously, what does Dustin Rhodes have to do to get fucking respect from the wrestling business? Come on.
Yeah. No, I just thought that was stupid because I read that a few days ago. That was the rumors. That's why they stopped it. So I guess they're not even going to continue it. I guess it's just over.
Goldust hasn't even been on television since Fastlane.
Yeah.
If you noticed.
He's supposedly supposed to be in the Battle Royal.
Ugh.
And then Stardust obviously is in the Intercontinental title ladder match. But yeah. Paul Heyman and Roman and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, he did a little interview, pre-recorded thing, just pretty much saying that, talking about how he took out Cena and he took out The Undertaker and he's going to take out Roman. Just name, plain and simple. And then obviously Paul Heyman, pretty much just keeps saying Roman that can't do everything and do anything. He can't, he can do everything, but he can't beat Brock Lesnar. And obviously he debuted a new shirt. Him and Seth did both last night, but I will.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And then Reigns just pretty much said that he doesn't have a problem with Heyman. He has a problem with his client, and he will beat him. It's almost like I feel like they don't have too much to talk about now. I feel like it was good like the first 2 weeks, and now it's just like no one's
that one part that got snowed out where they were sitting face to face and Heyman was kind of the mediator. I thought was the best talking that they did of this.
Yeah, and now I feel like it's just sour. It's just
like why? Here's my
just keep saying the same stuff over and over again.
We're not getting any face-to-face interaction with Roman and Brock.
Yeah,
and that's what I like. We're not getting any stare downs, any physicality. That's what I don't like. At least like get in each other's face, like have that stare down, like.
That's why weird. Seth is going to save us. Seth is going to save us when he cashes in, hopefully.
You gonna steal Y2J's old gimmick?
So no, everyone thinks it's gonna be the night after. Everyone thinks it's gonna be Raw after. So, I mean that's cool too. I don't mind that, but I did wish that he would be the first one to cash in at WrestleMania. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they want to. I think what they're thinking is it's a lot to process with Roman having his moment and then Seth cashing in, and then at WrestleMania. I know they cashed in Ziggler after WrestleMania a couple years ago, so it's been done once before, and Jack Swagger cashed in on Jericho the SmackDown after WrestleMania a few years prior to that, so it has been done before. But
Yeah, and that's why I wanted it to be something special. I wanted it to be WrestleMania, but we'll see. I guess it's whatever they want. It's WWE, the booking. They change the script the last minute every single time. Like, the few weeks ago they wrote the whole thing like 2 hours before the show. Vince didn't like it, so he changed the whole thing. So
Vince to me is becoming a waffling old man, kind of like Brett Favre used to be in the NFL. Like, he doesn't know what he wants anymore. He's becoming more and more indecisive. I got to give him credit. The only thing he's stuck with is Roman Reigns. At least he's stuck with it. But everything else is like, like back and forth. I kind of can't wait for H to take over at this point. It's getting ridiculous. It really is. The old man needs to step down.
I think it's just the creative writers too. It's almost like, I don't even know.
I've been saying it over and over again here. Sports entertainment is overproduced. And, like, it's funny. I don't know if you've seen, like, TNA lately with the promos Drew Galloway's cutting Drew McIntyre. And, like, I feel like a lot of people are on this kick where, like, screw sports entertainment, we want professional wrestling back. And it's all over the indies, not just Drew McIntyre saying it, but a lot of indie guys are talking about it. And I almost feel like now is the time. The indies are hot. Justin Gabriel was talking about it on Jericho's podcast. And it's almost a time to where the indies rise up like the territories used to and really challenge WWE. I don't know if you can include TNA in that. I hear Ring of Honor is trying to get on Spike TV, which is interesting because rumors are WWE might clean the cupboard with Ring of Honor with the Briscoes and Adam Cole and anybody good left in their roster. They already plucked Jimmy Jacobs, Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
They're gonna get on Spike TV and what? Just have TNA's old roster. Like,
telling you, ROH is like the best. They have the best talent, and that's where WWE stars come from. Is ROH, all of them, every single one.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Luke Harper, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
I didn't know Luke Harper was on there. That's crazy.
Yep.
I better check that out.
That's just off the
I knew
top
he
of my
was
head.
in indie. I just never thought he was in ROH. That's crazy.
The only guy from the indies, two guys that they've signed from the indies that really haven't done any Ring of Honor, even Kenta did a few Ring of Honor stuff, is really Dean and Sandy Callihan and Crow.
Yeah, and I know Dean never really. CCW was like the biggest thing he's pretty much done.
Yeah. Dean did one dark match for Ring of Honor. He talked about it in an interview, and there really wasn't much else there.
He was too, and that's why I feel like he went better with CCW because that's more hardcore and stuff like that, and that's what Dean is. So he's a crazy person. So.
And I actually like how NXT's booking Solomon Crow, his old tag team partner. They were tag team champs in CCW. Also had some great matches against each other, and I like how NXT's booking Solomon Crow. Been a fan of his debut.
Yeah. Then they had that 6-man tag team match, baby faces versus heels, and R-Truth was not in this. He was just kind of standing ringside. I don't know what's the deal with that but obviously baby faces get the win.
And Wade Barrett gets his title back. Yay!
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Do you think he's actually going to be able to keep it? I'm afraid he's going to get it taken either by SmackDown or next Raw.
Right. Well, I think he'll hold on to it until Mania at this point. The hot potato was kind of ran its course.
Yeah.
So let's make him at least look semi-strong for the next 2 weeks before he loses.
I know. I think the title switching needs to stop. Yeah, definitely.
The one thing if it is Bryan, hopefully Bryan can hold it for a while until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like was the WWE title.
I'm sure he will too. I'm sure, and I do see maybe Dean eventually taking it from him. Maybe depends.
I honestly love for a guy like Kevin Owens to come up and maybe take the title from Bryan. Like
that would be
Owens has talked about like he's gonna. Everybody who was his friends in Ring of Honor and in the Indies got signed before he did. And he talked about Sami Zayn. He talked about Cesaro. He talked about Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. And if they were smart, and I know NXT and WWE are two separate entities and two separate booking entities entirely, if they were smart and Triple H is really pushing this guy and behind this guy like I think he is, now they got Jimmy Jacobs on the fucking creative team who no one knows Kevin Steen better than Jimmy Jacobs, they would do that. They would have him debut. Maybe they have him lose the title to Finn Balor, which, like, I love Finn Balor, but I think it's a little too soon. But if they were to do that, bring him right up to the roster and have him take out Cesaro, take out, Seth Rollins. I would save Seth Rollins till the end, like, especially because he's probably the.
And we lost Joe again. But yeah, I agree. I love Kevin Owens, and I think that would be a really great step for him to come up to, obviously, right when he came off from NXT development. I think that would be great. And Joe, did you want to finish what you were saying?
All right, I'm back. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Hold on a second. You can't see me.
It'll probably come back.
I would book it. I would have Kevin and Daniel Bryan. Maybe they can save him to debut around SummerSlam, and he can attack Bryan and set up a match with him and Bryan. And they can have Bryan take a break after that. He can be rough with him like he was rough with Sammy. So that's an idea. All about making new stars.
Definitely.
At least that's what it should be.
And that's exactly why I think when they do their spring cleaning, you need to get rid of some guys.
Who do you think is on the bubble?
People that actually need to retire.
Well, yeah. Who do you think is on the bubble? That's interesting before we get in the main event here. Who do you think is on the bubble?
My favorite jobber and who I really think is an amazing talent. And Josh Jones thinks he's an amazing talent too, and that's Heath Slater. I've talked to a few people about him. Heath Slater, I'm pretty sure that he's getting there where he's just I feel like he's going to get released. I felt like this for a few years now, and he's made the cut and everything, but I feel like there's just nothing
more for him to do. There's a bunch of guys. Jericho was talking about this with Justin Gabriel on the podcast. And Gabriel was obviously in that. There's the NXT guys, and then there's the guys on top, and then there's a bunch of guys in the middle. Now, obviously, there's the old fuck like Big Show, Mark Henry, Kane, who all need to go. But then there's
they'll keep them, and they'll get rid of like Heath Slater. They'll get rid of the primetime players, probably. I mean,
pretty much anybody left from the Nexus besides Barrett.
Maybe they'll even get rid of them too. So it's just Las Vendedores, Primo and Epico.
Oh. I think they'll go to Puerto Rico with Carlito. Absolutely. No doubt about it. They're another one that needs to go. I worry for Zack Ryder. He could be on the chopping.
He's definitely on there too.
Wagner could be on the chopping block, I think.
Oh yeah, I know. Just all my favorites that I think that deserve so much better.
Yeah, it's almost like a
underdog people. For the underdogs, I'm a fan of them, so I love the underdogs.
That's why I really got behind Ryder. Me too. That's why I really got behind Ryder in 2011 when he got pushed. I think for Heath, he could do well in the Indies, especially with Justin Gabriel already out there. I think they could reunite their old tag team and maybe do something in the. I think that'd be interesting.
Heath is so great. I mean, if you really just watched him, he's very talented, and they won't let him show it.
Yeah. Justin Gabriel, the same thing. I would advise you to listen to that. I think you'd really be fascinated to hear what Gabriel had to say about his experiences and ideas that he had that never came to fruition. And he even talked about playing the bunny and his idea to put his own little spin on that and all these things. Very interesting. It relates to what we're talking about. And obviously, Gabriel probably would have been cut, but he made the move first, and you got to give him a lot of.
What's so funny about that too? They actually said he went to them a few weeks prior before he quit, and he said, "Do you have anything for me?" They said no, and so he went 2 weeks back and later, and he said that he quit, and they tried to say that they had something for him, but it was too late that he quit.
Well, from what he said on Talk Is Jericho, out of his words, he's going under the name PJ Black, which was his indie name. His real first name is PJ. He said that what you're saying is true, that like he kind of hit a point where he wasn't on TV for a while and he was still touring, but he actually left the tour a day early to just like go home because he hadn't quit yet, but he was like, fuck it, if they're not going to use me, I'm going home. Mark Carano calls him and they're like, oh, you're in the next segment, where are you? And he's like, I'm on a plane and by the way, I quit. So that's how that all went down.
That's awesome. Good for him. I think that's hilarious, you know?
I give him a lot of credit. I think he did what CM Punk, what people gave CM Punk credit about for standing up for his beliefs and quitting. I think Gabriel did it in a much better way.
And Del Rio, too. The same with Del Rio. All three of them just smart.
Yep. And he was saying that a lot of the smart fans were tweeting to him like, oh, you deserve so much better, and we understand why you left. And, like, not a lot of people were hurt about it. They were more supportive. Like, oh, you made the right choice, bro.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Like Drew McIntyre, you can see that he's doing so much better without WWE.
And Justin Gabriel mentioned Drew McIntyre and said how he saw what Drew McIntyre was doing on the Indies his last few months in WWE, and he was like, wow, that's what it's like to have fun wrestling again. So that.
And he's on TNA now too. He's gonna be, I'm sure, I'll be TNA champ in like a matter of a few months. But
yeah, wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt, just getting more into Undertaker's head, dumping the ashes and everything like that on his hands and everything like that, saying he's the new face of fear and everything, and he kind of gets into like how it's pretty much over for the Undertaker, his time's up and everything, and Bray's time is now. And now I want to ask you a question here. I was talking to someone about this in the group. I can't remember who it was. But me and him kind of got into a debate, and we were talking about if it would be right for Bray Wyatt to win this match. And I'm kind of thinking that I feel like it would be better if Bray won if it's Undertaker's last match. If it isn't his last match, then he needs to win it. But if this is his last match, let Bray take it. Bray needs it way more than Undertaker. Undertaker's job now is to push people, and Bray needs it, you know?
I agree 1,000% what you just said. There's been talk that, you know, they're going to do a co-retirement match at WrestleMania 32, Sting versus Undertaker. If that's the case, then yes, Undertaker needs to win and get some momentum back going into that match. And clearly, the only thing I think we can all predict for sure is Sting beating Triple H. I think that's a guarantee. But you're right. I mean, Bray Wyatt's done such an amazing job in telling this story. It reminds me of Shawn Michaels and Hogan from 2006, when Hogan really wasn't there at all, and Shawn Michaels turned heel out of nowhere because Hogan said he'd rather work a heel than a face. And Michaels did a great job for a month of telling the story by himself as a heel. And that's essentially what Bray Wyatt's done for the better part of what seems like 2 months now. And I give him a lot of credit. I think they have a hidden gem of a WWE champion waiting to be crowned in Bray Wyatt. And they are too fucking blind to see it. Too blind to see it. But I think he is a hidden gem that could be arguably the best WWE champion since CM Punk. And they're not seeing it. And I don't understand why. I really don't.
And that's the thing, too. We also talked about who actually should have beaten The Undertaker, because all of us did not agree with the Brock Lesnar thing. I actually, like I said, I thought Shawn Michaels should have beaten him. A lot of people wanted CM Punk. I thought that would have been great, too.
Yep.
Or even Bray Wyatt. I feel like and now people would probably disagree with this just because Bray Wyatt is, you know, in his younger career still, and he's not, you know, but I feel like it would still be better for him to, because he has everything to gain from this. Brock Lesnar really didn't have anything to prove, and that's why I didn't like him ending under.
Yeah. I mean, Vince talked about it on the podcast with Steve Austin and essentially said that, what do you say? You know, the realism aspect, realistically, Brock could beat Taker, and, he wanted Taker to get back to the business. But I agree. I think Bray Wyatt or CM Punk would have been much better. I think CM Punk's chances of winning that match died with Paul Bearer dying, and then that storyline turned into a storyline to honor Paul Bearer's memory, which was nice. And CM Punk didn't even want to work Undertaker. He wanted to work for the title. So there's that too. So I feel like Bray Wyatt would have been a great choice to end the streak. I think Roman Reigns would have been a great choice to end the streak. One of those two guys, or even Daniel Bryan. Someone with something to gain. I would have probably picked Bray 1, Roman 2, and Daniel Bryan 3 in terms of people. I would have personally picked to end the streak in terms of people who were still with the company last year. So, and Haley's back with us. Well, I was just saying, I would have picked Bray Wyatt number 1 to beat the streak, Roman Reigns number 2 to beat the streak, and Daniel Bryan number 3 to beat the streak. All had something to gain out of it. I'm talking about last year now. And you're right, like Bray Wyatt losing to Undertaker young. Shouldn't the young guy? This is what we talk about with Big Show and Kane and all.
Exactly.
Shouldn't the old fucks at this point? It's not realistic for a 28-year-old man to lose to a 45-year-old man in a fight. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep, definitely. And obviously, Seth getting in a fight with J&J Security, them quitting on him, and then Big Show and Kane saying they're not going to be out there, and so Seth obviously running into the authorities' office and saying you need to fix this and everything like that, and obviously, like what you said, making the little comments about saying, are you done playing hide and seek with Sting to Triple H? Obviously, him sticking up for himself a little bit, kind of acted a little bit like a baby face, but then switched it all around on us and said that, it was just for show, and obviously the whole authority came out, and the match didn't even start. And Sting showed up. Now, that was the surprise. I don't think anyone was really expecting that. And helped Randy, and obviously they stood tall, and obviously Triple H and him had a nice little stare down, and that's pretty much it. Nice way to end it.
I know my friend from Florida, Vidosa Parisi, who was part of the group, she's been commenting and stuff here and there. She had posted that she was kind of expecting it. Other than that, I think it did catch a lot of people by surprise. It was good. It was Sting doing something different. Interacting with Orton was really cool. He hit the Stinger Splash on JJ Security, and then Orton and him took turns hitting the Scorpion Death Drop and the RKO. Great interaction. I loved it. I thought that was a really cool moment. And the fans, Sting. I think that arguably was a better reaction than he got at Survivor Series, and much better than any other appearance he's made.
Definitely.
So it was good. And this was Sting. This was Steve Borden. You could see him talking to Triple H. He's pounding his chest. He's doing all the things that make you think of why Sting is the icon. And I loved it. I really did. That was a great ending. I thought it did Randy some justice to have him part of that. And it really made Randy and Sting feel special going into me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Just being 2 weeks away, I mean, you gotta end Raws like that. You gotta, end them strong. You can't just, And I think that WWE is finally getting that, because they even said rumors are next week they got another good thing planned for next week. So that's to end the show. So that's good. They need to start doing that.
Exactly. It's 1 week. You have one Raw left till WrestleMania. Time to get your shit together. And I really liked it. I really liked the appearance. I thought it was really cool. And again, with Orton, Sting obviously has been made to look special this whole time. Orton, you can't tell me he was made to look special the past few years. They put him in big matches. He was WWE champion. He was the heel that was designed to make Bryan look good. But it's not like he ever felt special in that run. I feel like the last time Randy felt special was maybe when he was feuding with Christian back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah. Right before he got in trouble, right? I think that was right before. Or no, that was after he got back from being in trouble, I think.
Yes.
I don't know. For his second or third time being suspended, I think it was second, yeah.
Put the title right back on him after Christian run it and all of that. So, But I felt like he felt special then, and he feels special again. His mannerisms, he feels special. And it's good to see. I've never hated Randy Orton. I've always been a fan of his work. I just feel like they have a lot like AJ Lee in a way.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with them, and now I feel like it's better. Him and Seth feuding is good.
I feel like Randy hasn't for at least 4 years, and I give them credit for making him look special again, because he is one of the greatest of all time. There's no argument there, and he should be made to look that way.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to turn into the Strike Zone with Joe this Thursday.
Week's going to be our final Strike Zone before we're live this Friday, Haley, in Queens, New York. Well, Strike Zone's this Thursday, but we're going to be live this Friday, recording interviews, getting content, going to get a podcast out of it. Tommy Dreamer is on that card. Samoa Joe, one of the biggest free agents out there, on that card. Armando Estrada, Brian Myers, a.k.a. Kurt Hawkins, bunch of great talent on that card. And the Strike Zone's going to be there. Myself, Jason Jasanowski, Immortal Mike Sorkin. Happy birthday, by the way, to my good friend Immortal Mike Sorkin, my brother from the Strike Zone. Happy St. Patty's Day to all you Irish people out there. And if you're not Irish and you're trying to celebrate St. Patty's Day like you are, you're getting a Stone Cold Stunner from this guy.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.